We bring the truth up close and personal through police body cam footage, exciting car chases, road rage outbursts, disturbing and chilling discoveries. Nothing gets you closer to the scene than the camera placed right on the officer's uniform. This is Cams Don't Lie.
Have a vehicle failing to yield.
On April 10, 2022, in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, police conducted a traffic stop from wannabe police officers claiming to respond to a call for an officer in distress. Here's what happened.
Turn the car off!
Police vehicle dashcam footage shows us the authorities pulling over a vehicle at an intersection. Reports claim that the driver ran past two red lights at high speed, prompting the traffic stop. The suspects are cooperating with the police as they get pulled over. Police body cam footage shows the officer approaching the suspects to proceed with the traffic stop.
Alright, man. What's going on?
The driver tells the officer that he is an armed security officer, which is his reason for running the red lights. The officer then asks the passenger to exit his vehicle.
Your direction.
Alright, boss man. Passenger, you're gonna
The
come out.
officer then performs a body search on the passenger.
Red lights, dog. And then when lights and sirens mean stop, and I keep going. I didn't hear the siren. Right now, because your buddy didn't stop. Who do you work for?
The officer then placed the passenger in handcuffs before proceeding with the driver. It's important to mention that reports claim one of the individuals admitted to having a firearm on them.
CCW or not?
No.
You don't?
Hey, he won't hang tight, man.
Alright, back here. Okay, we're gonna come in here. Okay.
He's probably got a cop key as well.
The passenger is then placed in the rear seat of the police vehicle. The officer informs the passenger that he is being detained for the actions of his accomplice, who was speeding right past not one, but two red lights.
Put my pants up.
Man, you can't be carrying.
We have an open carry law. Instead of Ohio.
You're not open carrying.
As the passenger is seated at the back of the car, we can see him wearing a badge around his neck. Reports claim these were peace officer badges. Additionally, they also found the individuals carrying handcuffs.
Listen, I ain't holding nothing against you. You were different. We're gonna go to car 5, okay?
The suspect says he has a broken leg, which may cause him issues if he forces himself into the back seat of the cop's car. Understandably, the officer allows him to transfer to another vehicle.
In our situation, not being disrespectful.
All in. Ah, shit. Here, oh yeah, this belt here.
I didn't just see these stuff.
Yeah, I got you. Push it.
The suspect asks the officers to understand their reasons for running both red lights. They were on their way to assist an officer who was in distress. Whether this was a police officer or another peace officer, they didn't specify.
Obviously, he's not. I don't know why he's taking somebody that doesn't work at his company to a call for service. That's a problem. Yeah.
So, you're not.
All right, man. You're obviously in custody. You're talking to
We can see that the driver was wearing a protective vest and camouflaged gear and had other paraphernalia hanging from his belt. He looks kitted out to be a police officer, but is private security allowed to do what they did?
It's the red light over here into Akron. It goes right through the red light violation now, yeah. Firearms. This guy. No CCW, no nothing. We gotta make sure he's not. I understand.
However, there is one problem. The police officer tells his partner that he doesn't have a license to prove that he is a part of any security company. So far, we have a civilian who ran the red light, is equipped with a vest and a firearm, and has a peace officer badge. Things are not looking good for the suspects.
I'm off at the Hooper Center there, in the plaza by the Hatter.
Okay, and you picked him up from what?
He works for the Hooper Center, I don't know. He doesn't work for us, so.
Has he ever claimed to be a police officer?
Not to me.
I would love to know, one, if
The police are questioning the individual's employment, since he doesn't have any evidence that he works for any private security company. They also asked him why he was responding to an officer in distress call with a passenger with a broken leg. Surely that couldn't be his partner. You wouldn't want someone with a broken leg running around playing law.
for myself, and if I did that, I'd get written up and I'd be in trouble. You have no lights on. What if someone like blindside clips you? You know what I'm saying? 100 people working at one time. I get there. I can understand doing above speed limit. I understand it. I do above speed limit. But as far as I know, it's running white.
The police tell him that he wasn't permitted to run the red lights without turning on his own sirens and emergency lights. It was possible that during his high-speed maneuvers, he could have crashed into a civilian on the way. We're lucky that this is the worst that we have seen.
What's his name or her name?
David Russell.
Just have the line in there for me, okay? Have red and white.
I think you're right. I know.
Green and
amber, and then there's purple in some states.
The suspect even admitted to having a red light. This is a serious issue among emergency vehicles. The allowed emergency lights for private companies are amber and white, to avoid confusion among the people. But he said he didn't turn on his light. The more he says, the deeper the hole he is digging himself into.
784 radio, Frank Charles Young, 3431 on a Smith & Wesson.
The police are now calling dispatch to report the weapon they found on the suspect. They're checking to see its registration and whether the gun was purchased lawfully or not.
I just asked him about the lights, if I could use the lights, and he said I could turn them on and off. So I haven't asked him about searching the car yet. So let's just...
While the police run the records, the suspects are being held at the scene. They will proceed to take their badges off of them.
Hey man, we're gonna take your badge.
You don't need to, I already know what it is.
That's fine, I still gotta read it. Just to make sure, cover up everything, my bases.
The passenger pleads the fifth, telling the officer that he has the right to remain silent. The officer agrees and then reads the suspect his Miranda rights.
Just moved down in Akron?
Yes.
So do you still work for that company in Cleveland?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm back and forth.
So are you working for them right now?
Who?
Are you currently on the clock?
The officer then asks the suspect a series of questions, including his status of employment. The suspect tells the officer that he just got hired by the company that the driver works for, and he was initially working at another company out in Cleveland. He is working as a private security officer, but he admits that he does not have a security license, and he is working on it.
Okay. So,
Okay, yeah.
it's not that. He works for a security company up in Cleveland, but he is not on the clock for them right now. He has no security license.
He's out here doing things he should be doing.
Yeah. And the hookah...
You're going to have, I think, more than just...
The officers are contemplating what charges can be filed against the suspects. It's not clear whether they can be charged with impersonating law enforcement, seeing as they claim to be working for a private security company. However, that claim doesn't add up since they have no proof to show that they're on the job. Even worse, one of them was carrying a firearm and admitted to having red emergency lights equipped onto his vehicle.
I didn't realize it was a red light at the time.
Okay. Okay. Why are you going through lights with your red and white lights on, man? Okay. Do you have a siren in there?
No, there's no siren.
So, okay, so you just have the red and white lights on, no siren?
They are waiting for dispatch to give them further updates on the records of these individuals. While they wait, they are asking the suspects more questions that can give them a clearer picture and tell them as to why they ran the red lights.
Did he identify himself like that, or just based on his eyes? Just
Police are now standing by as the supervisor of the individuals is coming. Maybe they can help the suspects and clear their name. Only time will tell.
He's an actual security guy, but the issue with him is he ran a red light, he's got red and white lights.
He's running hot to calls.
He's running hot to calls. Can't have red and white lights.
He was going.
One of the suspects claimed that there was a fight that broke out in the area. They responded to an officer in distress call, saying the peace officers or private security needed help. To them, it didn't warrant enough reason to be running hot to the scene. In other words, they don't see it as a good enough reason to be speeding past red lights and increasing the risk of a car crash.
Was he supposed to be going
They're
somewhere?
going to a fight call over at the hookah bar that they were.
I mean, I think there's some emergency lights laws and stuff.
The police are discussing the situation. They think that the car isn't an emergency vehicle, not allowing it to have emergency lights attached. So, following the detainment and possible arrest, this will be seen as a normal traffic stop and the suspects might be charged for traffic violations.
Did he present himself as that to somebody? Right. Like, you know, if he just has a badge that says that, I don't know that that's and given the circumstances, and they can tell you no.
The suspect didn't identify himself as a security officer to the police. They suspect that he might have been doing that elsewhere without the eyes of the authorities. Still, working with what they have, they can't pin an impersonation charge because he hasn't admitted to being a peace officer. Rather, he was simply wearing the badge of one.
The statute to be sure, but it kind of sounds that way. That he's not in any form allowed to do that. I just don't know the specific laws about.
Currently, they're not sure about the laws involving private security personnel and their vehicles involved. What they are sure of is filing the charge for running the red lights against the suspect and engaging in reckless driving.
Their statute or something, but that reckless hop is pretty. To be honest with you, what they're going to be doing is overhead lights and stuff.
Further investigation from the police found out that one of the guns the individuals were carrying was returned as stolen from Birmingham, Alabama. While they were thinking about charging the suspects with impersonation of law enforcement or emergency personnel, they did not have enough evidence to make the claims. The driver was indicted with a charge of receiving stolen property. The passenger, on the other hand, received charges of improper handling of firearms in a motor vehicle. Moreover, the passenger was not identified to be a part of the mentioned security company, not pleading guilty to his case. This has been Cams Don't Lie, bringing you the truth up close and personal. To keep yourself updated on the scene, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Cams Don't Lie, reporting out.